Hello?
Hey, my name's Kano. I'm another driver. Not for you guys, but for somebody else. My girlfriend talked to your girlfriend or wife, and she
my wife.
Yeah. So I'm calling to get some details about the company, and because I trust a driver than I do a recruiter.
Oh, yeah. I've been up here for 2 years and 7 months. Now, it's an owner-operator company, so you got to have your truck, but we have fleet owners. So my fleet owner, his name is Joe Quinn. He don't even drive, but he's a businessman out of Kansas City. He owns a concrete construction company, and he owns trucks. I do good because he gives me 50% of the line haul and the fuel surcharge. So altogether, after we pay the fuel off the top, then we split it 50-50. I'm going home with about 30%. So if the truck makes $6,000 in a week, I'm making $1,800. Kind of give you an idea.
Right on.
Yeah, I mean, my goal is always 6,000. Sometimes I might hit 8,000. I might be shy of 1 week. You know how trucking is.
Right.
I know last year I pocketed about $80,000, and I don't even own the truck.
Right.
I don't have to worry about maintenance. If it shows a motor, I don't have to worry about it. He worries about all that.
Cool. And he's pretty decent to work for.
Oh, yeah, Joe's a good guy.
You got to kill yourself to make that kind of money, or?
Well, what I do, I mean, you got to work, to make $80,000. I mean, what I usually do, now they've been short-handed drivers, so since December, I've worked pretty hard, but usually I stay out 8 to 10 days, and then I go home. And we have pretty much dedicated routes. It's the same thing every week because we service Publix distribution centers, and we haul seaboard out of Triumph Foods up in St. Joe, Missouri, north of Kansas City. And we take it down to Georgia, Dacula, Georgia, Publix. Raleigh, North Carolina, and we have a few places out in North Carolina that aren't Publix, like Black Mountain, Hickory, North Carolina, and then we do all the Publix in Florida, all the way down to Miami.
How much overnight driving do they make you do?
Well, I don't do much of it. I mean, I go to bed between 10 and midnight.
Okay.
I got into the director, the guy that flings the loads, and I mean, he's left me alone since because Seaboard was behind. They're supposed to have the load done by 10 o'clock at night. I stayed up till 10 waiting on them. Went to bed. They called me at 1:30 in the morning. Oh, your load's ready. I said, well, I'll see you at 6:37 in the morning then. I said, because I just went to bed. You're late. You didn't fulfill your drop dead time. They said, okay, that's fine. He called me, just chewing my butt the next day. I said, look, man, I said, I can't drive a truck off of 2 hours of sleep, okay?
Exactly.
I'm not going to do it. And he was like, but we get paid really good for those loads, and we got to have them. I said, I don't care. I said, look, did you hear me? I said, you don't come to work off of 2 hours of sleep. You're not driving an 18-wheeler. I said, Scott, I realize you do not understand because you don't do this job. I said, you sit in an office.
And you don't make good money if the truck's in the ditch.
No.
Yeah.
So he's laid off since, it's just, I had to stand up for myself, and just tell him I'm not doing it. He's like, well, if you would have called we would have had 5 other guys that would have loved that Miami load. I said, yeah, they would have been highly thrilled at 1:30 in the morning to get on it.
Right.
You know, I'm sure they would have been real happy about it.
And you know what's
what? They would have done the same thing.
What's 4 hours? I mean,
yeah.
You know.
So it wasn't even a Publix the first stop. So it didn't really even matter. And when I got down there, it was in Marietta, Georgia, and north of Atlanta. I get down there, they didn't have appointment times. It's first come, first served. So I call him up. I'm like, hey, dude, you know, you sit there and shoot my ass. There ain't even really an appointment. You guys just put that. Well, we got to go by what Seaboard says. I said, but Seaboard didn't have an appointment because they don't make appointments.
Nice.
I said, and your Publix in on the back end of this will be half a day early. So I said, so you shoot my ass for nothing.
Right.
And since then, he's been like, okay, well, if they get it done at 1 o'clock in the morning, you can leave at 6 or 6:30 in the morning. Okay. That's the only problem I've really had over here. They will not make you drive overnight. You don't have to.
Okay, cool.
So when you get tired, go to bed.
Yeah, I usually work 4 to 6 or 5 to 7. So.
Yeah, see, I won't drive overnight. About midnight, I'm 47 years old. I'm getting older. I used to rock and roll till 4 o'clock in the morning, you know, back when we had paper logs. But
right.
I'm not doing it no more.
Exactly. I used to do that 24-hour bull crap. I don't do that no more.
Yeah. And if you're working for an outfit that wants you to drive overnight, you don't have to do that, man.
That's why I'm looking. I told them, I said, well, you just made my decision. Because they told me that very few overnights, and then when I get hired on, they're like, oh, most of our stuff's overnight. I'm like, well,
yeah,
great. I was like, well, you can put me on the non-overnight loads, and I'll just stay home the rest of the time. I don't care.
Yeah.
But it's slip seat, so I can do that.
Who do you drive for?
It's CTI.
Oh, CTI? Okay.
But lately, all the loads have been late, and they still want me to do it overnight, and I'm like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not my fault the load's late.
Yeah. See, I drove for CFT for a while. They're down in Stratford.
Okay.
I used to run West Coast. I'd run meat out of the Port of Oakland, Port of LA. Then I run produce from California, and of course in the wintertime it's Yuma, down on the Mexico border, and then run it back up to the Midwest. But I like this a lot better. I make better money running southeast down to Florida. I mean, it's just better.
Yeah. Well, you know, it always sounds better than it really is, but I figure, you know, I go out for a week, come home, take a few days off, go out for a week, come home, take a few days off. But it's like they give me
our
one
rounds
round
over here.
Oh, go ahead.
It's the same, so you can kind of plan. I mean, you're not going to get the same run every time, but there's maybe 10 different runs. That's all we got. I mean, that's all we got. Okay. So you're going to be running that, circulating that. So, you know, you go down to Florida, depends on where you go in Florida, but it's a 2 to 3 day run. Okay, and we also run eggs down to Target in Lakeland. That's a 2-day run.
Okay. You said
Atlanta,
eggs?
Georgia, eggs. Yeah, we run them out of Noster, Missouri, by the Air Force Base.
Okay.
Over by Sedalia, and we run them down to Target, and then you'll either get produce during produce season, or you'll get from there. Lakeland, you're probably not going to go down and get oranges. It's too much of a deadhead. You'll probably go to South Carolina and pick up Pilgrim's Fried Chicken and take it up to Brighton, Michigan, outside of Detroit. We do that, and then we deadhead from there over to Grand Rapids, pick up apples, and come back to Aldi's distribution center in Olathe. And that round pays pretty good. The chicken, it don't pay that great, but you're going to make your money on the apples because it's like 680 miles and it pays the truck like $2,600.
Oh, okay.
So, now the Aldi's, you will deliver overnight. I mean, the appointment there is usually at midnight. They may not get you done until 7 o'clock in the morning. Once you get back to the door, go to bed. That's what I do.
Right,
And then when they call you and you're done, then you can get up, you get motivated, pay your lumber, get your receipt, and book it. Go back to the terminal. So it's all easy. I mean, I like it over here. I mean, I'm in a 2016 Kenworth, all Joe's stuff. He got paid off this year, so we're due new trucks. He told me at the end of last year that this year we're going to get newer trucks.
Okay.
But I have an APU. I mean, so I'm running over 8 miles per gallon. So I'm making money.
Right. Oh, what kind of computer logs do they have?
It's the old Keep Trucking.
Keep Trucking, okay.
Yeah.
So they got it on a tablet, or you got to do it on your phone?
Well, I did have a tablet. My tablet cracked, so I used my phone. I have a nice phone, so I just use my phone.
Okay.
You can do either or. I mean, Joe, usually the truck that you get in will have a tablet, and he pays the bill on it, but that tablet was junk that I got 2.5 years ago. It was already cracked, and then I dropped it, finished the screen off.
Right.
So
Right.
I instead of asking him for a new tablet, I just told him what happened. I just used my phone. So if I really wanted to, I'd go out and get a tablet. It's all write-off because you're going to be 1099. You work for Joe, so it's like you have your own truck. It's you'll be able to write everything off.
Right. Okay.
So, which is better anyway? Your company. Anytime I've been a company driver, I pay a lot more taxes than when I go get a CTI and do 1099.
Oh, yeah, well, I got my side hustle, so I got my deductions, but since they changed the way we can write things off, it screwed the company driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I know. You can't. Well, what sucks, we used to be able to write our entertainment off, but that went away actually during Trump, and I like Trump, but I didn't like that because I could write all my subscriptions at home off. I mean, because I have like Netflix. I could write my Amazon Prime off because of the Amazon Prime Video. I can't write all that shit off now. I mean, it don't amount to a hill of beans really, but it's a concept. If you had magazine subscriptions back in the day, you could write it off.
Right.
Anything entertainment, you could write off. We can't do that no more. I guess they figure we're entertained enough on our phones, which is probably true, but
well, some of that costs money too.
That's it. Yeah. TikTok is all I do. My wife does the Facebook. My name's on it. My old friends are on it because when we got married, we consolidated friends. I was like, have fun. I hate Zuckerberg. I got into it with him online before. He thought I hacked my own account from Michigan. I'm like, no, douchebag. My name was on there too. What it was I put, let's go Brandon, and it pissed him off because he's for the Democrats, and he seized our account up. And when Michelle called the next day, she goes, "What did you do on Facebook? You got me thrown in jail." I'm like, all I put was "Let's go Brandon."
It don't take much. I posted a post of white wine, and I put white power underneath it, and I got banned. I got thrown in jail for like a month.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, TikTok don't dick with me. I just put a post about the Raider Nation, about how it must have felt when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl in their stadium. It must have been likened to your mother-in-law having an orgy in your bed, and they haven't banned me.
That's funny.
I'm sure I'm going to get some hate mail on that from Raider Nation. Who cares?
Oh yeah, especially after the whole shooting thing, everybody's going to be up in arms.
Well, I think everybody from every team disavows that. Nobody's glad that whether you hate the Chiefs or not. They're not happy that people got shot. I think that was gang. They said they have 2 youngsters, like late teens, they captured, and I think it was gang.
And it was probably staged so they could take our guns.
Yeah, because these little fuckers want socialism, but I got news for them. Where Generation X is still around. It ain't going to happen until we die.
Pretty much.
So then I could still beat these little punks' ass.
Well, the new generation's too weak to fight us.
Yeah, they'll throw a phone at you, maybe.
Yeah.
Look at example. Look at, and I love Pat Mahomes, but I can't stand his brother Jackson. Look at Jackson. That is typical young generation. Now, Pat's cool. I don't know what the hell happened to his brother. It's like, you remember that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
It was called Twins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, Pat's Arnold. You know who Jackson is.
Right. Right on. Well, I got this one company that I was gonna go work for, and I'm waiting for them to get back to me, if they get back to me, but that's another story. But they took forever to get back to me, so I went to this company, and then when I went to this company, the other company got back to me, and I was like, oh, too late. I should have went to
my little brother drove for CTI for a while, I think like a month, and he told them to screw off. He didn't last over there very long, but I mean, his expectations are really high. He's always made money. I trained him years ago. And, I mean, he's done, it's, how do I think of that company? It's in Springfield. It's like AWG, you know. We bring the orders into them off the road. They put it on their trailers, and they deliver to schools, nursing homes, restaurants, that kind of work.
Oh, okay.
He started out doing that. Then he went to Walmart, drove for Walmart for a while down in Searcy, Arkansas. Then he got into fuel hauling. He's pretty much stayed in fuel hauling. But he come out of fuel hauling for a while, thought, oh, I want to see the country. So he was running out west, and he didn't like CTI at all. So I've never dealt with them. I've never drove for them. Matthew just said they suck. He said he'd make no money driving for them.
Right. Yeah.
He said that they promised the world in orientation, and then they delivered about 25% of that.
I think I can agree with that. Yeah.
So that's all I really know about them. I've stayed with small companies. Probably the biggest company I drove for is Transland when I started, and they were small when I started. That's there in Stratford, the blue trucks. It was dry van, and I drove for them for about a decade, and then I moved to Reaper unit. Past 14 years, and I made better money running Reaper refrigerated.
Right.
But up here in Kansas City, it's a smaller company. Like right now, they have 50 trucks running. You know, it's a small operation. The man that runs it, Greg Smith, he's an old man. He don't cuss up there. There's no dirty jokes. It's Christian run. I mean, if you got problems or somebody in your family's sick, let them know. They'll pray for them. That kind of deal. They're truly good people, and they're honest. They've never shorted me, not once.
Okay. All right,
so,
well, definitely keep that in mind. I'm going to try to give these guys another chance, but I don't think I'm going to be here much longer.
Yeah, I mean, if you decide this is what you want to do, like I said, 8 to 10 days, if you want to stay out longer, that's one round trip. Then you come in, you want to make extra money, just tell them. They'll send you right back out. If not, you go home for 2 or 3 days. That's how we roll.
Okay.
In Stockton, down there at the storage units, it'd be going towards Greenfield, so it'd be south of town on the right side. That's where I keep the truck when I'm home.
Oh, okay.
You pay him $50 a month. You can bobtail your truck down there and park it in that gravel lot.
Oh, yeah, I got 15 acres. I park on the land.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, I live in town, so they don't like me parking, on the street. So I just pay and park down there. So okay. I live on College.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm in Keplinger Mills.
Okay. So. Yeah, you're outside of town.
Yeah. Right on.
But right. I mean, it's not a bad deal up here. I mean, I drove down out of the Springfield base for a while. I just didn't make the money that I make up here.
Right.
Yeah, the only other place I drove out of was Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I'd done that for 3.5 years. That gave me plenty of winter driving.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, I've got plenty of that. I used to be a nice road trucker.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I went one winter as a winter hand up on the oil wells. I won't do that again. Holy shit, up in North Dakota.
Oh yeah, I used to haul the oil for up there, but yeah. I worked the oil fields down in Oklahoma and Texas.
Yeah, I would have been better off going to Texas or Oklahoma because I about turned into a popsicle up in North Dakota. By February, I was ready to come home. They called up next morning, you want to come back up? I'm like, I'm about to decline.
Yeah.
So, I made good money up there. Michelle went up there. My wife actually has her CDL, but when we had her little girl, she's 3, she'll be 4 in July, and the whole time she's pregnant with her, she was throwing up and sick, so she hasn't worked since. So, but she has a CDL.
Right.
We're just waiting. I don't know if we're going to homeschool Jesse or what, but if we do, I'll probably get a super sleeper and we'll just homeschool the kids.
Oh, there you go.
Because in my opinion, Stockton school sucks. They say that they stop bullying. No, they don't even address bullying. So there's a lot of other stuff going on up at that school. Their principal from last year was too busy having an affair with a married teacher, and he was married, to address the issue. But they fired him. Now this principal's like, oh, that kid just bumped her down the stairs. Yeah, yeah. So when Daddy gets tired of it, she'll probably get pulled out, or
Right.
But they don't do shit. They make a big hoopla about, oh, we stopped bullying. Yeah, you don't do shit. Take your phones from your teachers. You can't expect your kids to not sit there and text and play on Facebook if your teacher's doing it.
Right.
That's not a learning environment.
No.
So I am not impressed with the public school system at all.
Oh no.
My mother was a public school teacher. 4 years. She retired. Now she's in the private sector. And I'll tell you what, the quality of the teacher today, and I realize they don't pay much, because they don't. I make over double what they make. But the thing is, you sign up for it. Do it right. Anything you sign up to do, you do it right. These are our kids.
Right.
They do. When they got into teaching, it doesn't pay good. Now, if you go to, like, Texas, they pay pretty good down in Texas. But Missouri don't pay shit.
Oh, okay.
Missouri, you're starting out about $30,000 a year, if that, 28, 30. So, it sucks.
I hear you.
Now, you, how old are you?
I'm, I don't know, I forgot. I'm almost 50. I'm just a little
Almost
older
50.
than you. I think I'm 49.
Okay. 49, okay. And you got, in the last 2 years, you drove consistently, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, the last 6 months,
Okay.
I've been off the road doing miscellaneous things. But, yeah, I was driving for locally as a relief,
You'll probably be fine.
as a relief driver.
Okay. As long as you were behind the wheel, half-ass consistently, in the past 2 years, you'll be fine. It's just insurance is all it is.
Yeah. I've been consistently driving pretty much for the last 25 years.
Yeah, so. I never stopped. I just kept going. Biggest break I had was going up on the oil wells, and I was outside the truck more than I was driving the truck. So, working on the tanks. You had to be outside because the EPA, you blew a valve, anything you spilt on the ground, you had to dig up. So, you're up in the truck trying to warm up, you blow a valve on the back of that tanker, and that's going to be a real mess. They're going to have to bring a freaking bobcat without a backhoe out there. So,
right.
Like I said, I about froze to death, but, it was good exercise, I guess. But,
Yeah, sometimes I'll trim trees in the summer if I'm not working somewhere else, but typically though I'm driving. I used to look for ways to get out of trucking, and now I realize I'm probably going to be driving for the rest of my life.
Yeah, there's always other stuff. I have interest in other stuff, but, for the money, I do this for my family. It's like I told my wife, I've lived my life. I've done all the fun shit I ever would have wanted to do, and I'm 47. Now I look at my daughters. I got a 12-year-old getting ready to turn 13. I got one getting ready to turn 4. And I just live for them. I just pour the coals on for them. I used to myself, but I do it for them now. There's not much I want to do.
Right.
I just work. Keep them in a good house and good vehicles and whatever they want to do, and we roll on.
Roll on highway. Roll on through.
But if you decide you want to come on over here, give me a call, and I'll give you Kevin Meyer's number. And he's the guy that you'll deal with. And I think orientation is like 2 days. Most of it's just those damn boring videos that every company makes you watch.
Right.
You about fall asleep during. That's about all it is. He'll take you out in a truck, make sure that you can back and you can drive straight down the road, and that's it. That's all there is to it.
All right, cool. How fast are the trucks?
I don't have a governor on this truck.
Oh.
I still go as fast as when I put it to the floor.
Okay, well, as long as they do 70, I'm happy.
Oh, it'll do a lot more than that.
Okay.
I can tell you, I've hit 82. That's about as fast as I want to go.
Yeah, I mean, I do the speed limit, or maybe 2 over. That's about it.
Well, I had no boy trying to drag race me coming out of Arkansas at 49. He swerved off the road onto the shoulder and back over, so I hit the left lane. Then he decided he wanted to drag race me. He wouldn't let out of it.
Oh, yeah, so I definitely love having passing gear.
Yeah, so I just done what I could to get around him, and I hit 82, and I thought, oh, safety guy Kevin is going to be thrilled. He never said a word to me.
Right.
But we have cameras up on, they don't look at the inside view. I guess unless they think you're dead, they might click it on to see if they can see you in the sleeper back there if you didn't show up for 24 hours. But it's just outside view. Like they say, this inside one will kick on if there's a collision, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I can tell you when I do my e-logs, I can go in and see what they see on the screen, and it doesn't show the inside. So.
Oh, that's good, because I don't like them spying on me while I'm picking my nose or whatever.
Yeah, but every once in a while, I'll just give the little black box a finger.
Right. Well, you sound like a freedom fighter like me, so you're pretty much on the same page as I am when it comes to stuff like that.
Pretty much. So, oh man, I used to love the days when we used to have fun back in the day, man. Now everything's so corporatized, it ain't near as much fun as it used to be.
Right.
It was a lot more happy-go-lucky years ago when I started. I started first week of January 2000 for Transland. I went out with a trainer. Man, I had a blast. I was a young man making good money, traveling out to the West Coast. And I had a blast. He was fun, too.
I started in 98 with CR England.
The Mormons.
Oh, yeah. Well, my grandpa had a dump truck company, and I was doing dump truck before then, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, when I went over the road, I had to start from scratch.
Yeah.
So...
I see these kids driving the CR England trucks, and I promise the same one. You go past them, and they got like a death grip. You can see their knuckles are pale white. It's like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah. I remember being
That's
that
the
way.
ones that are going to fuck up. That's the ones that are going to fuck up because they're so freaking stiff and scared,
Oh, yeah.
But,
Well, I remember one time when I first started driving, I had to pass another truck while on a bridge. It was like a really long, big, high bridge over a valley.
yeah.
And I was just like that. When you described that, I remembered that moment. I was just like that, going past that other truck. I was scared. That was like 25 years ago. But still, I still remember it. It's funny.
Yeah. I was apprehensive, but I wasn't really scared because I had a crazy, he was a crazy hillbilly. He lived up by, behind the shooting range, the military base up at Rollin. And we didn't have much time home. We come home for a day and a half, 2 days. Then we'd roll. I lived down in Lockwood, Missouri at the time, which ain't very far from Stockton. But instead of going all the way from his house, all the way home, and back up to his house to get back in the truck, I just stayed with him. And he was cool. You know, we hung out. There's a, trying to think of that river, I think Big Sugar or something like that up there. We went canoeing on that, and we just had a blast. Yeah, he was a ton of fun. But he didn't let me be scared. You know, he played pranks on me like I'd be back in the bunk asleep. We'd be out in Arizona in the mountains, and he'd scream and hit that jake brake up. And of course, I flew out of bed. I thought I was a dead man, you know?
Yeah.
And he just laughed. If I missed a gear, he'd sit there, he had a ruler, and he'd slap my hand. God dang it, these are not rubber gears.
That's funny.
But he taught me on a 13-speed in a Kenworth. That's what I learned on.
Yeah, I learned in the mountains in the winter. My first load went into, after I got done with my trainer, went into Canada. I went Dumb and Dumber. First load into Canada. I had a rough start, boy, I tell you what.
Yeah, I've been to Canada, but I was over in the flatlands up in Ontario. Cross there to Detroit, go over to Toronto, a place called Mississauga. All baby watch up there, and then his dad head back over to Detroit, pick up auto parts, come back to Kansas City, Missouri. That's the only Canada I ever run was Ontario province.
Oh yeah, we went straight up into Alberta, and I didn't know. And see, I had a butterfly knife on me at the time, and I didn't know that was illegal in Canada. And they threatened to put me in prison for 2 years. Scared the shit out of both of us.
Oh shit! I could see an assault rifle, but a butterfly knife.
Right? So yeah, like I said, it was an experience, but yeah. And then my Dumb and Dumber partner decided he wanted to rent a lot lizard while we were up there, and so I slept on the top bunk after that. The whole time I was with that guy, I was like, "Fuck this shit."
That's the Argonne driver rented a lot lizard.
Yeah. I didn't believe him. He's like, "Call her over here." I was like, "Okay." I didn't think he would go through with it.
Oh shit!
And,
I would have got the fuck out, man. I wouldn't have been in there with him banging some lot lizard.
Oh, I got out. Yeah, I went inside.
If the cops would have busted you, that you would have went down too, or you could have been sitting up in the front seat with a bag over your head, and they would have arrested you too.
Right.
Man, some of the nasty hoes. I've seen a few good-looking ones out here over the years. I don't even see them no more, honestly. I think they've all went to like escort work online. Because you remember, I mean, back in the early 2000s, they're freaking everywhere, especially like Oklahoma City, Dallas. I don't see them anymore.
No, they're all online now.
You know, Vegas, I know it's mostly escort. Of course, if you're ever down at that pilot in town, there's hookers down there. Or they're just homeless trying to make some extra money. But, you know, it's illegal in Vegas because Clark County wants the escort money. So they just do escorts. They've made prostitution illegal. Now, outside of Clark County, it's legal. There's brothels. I actually met the guy that, what was his name? He was the guy that owned 7 brothels, and he was on Cat House, HBO's Cat House. He had a brothel, but it was a truck stop, and back behind the building was a pink building. I didn't even know. I pull in there, and there's a fireworks outlet building next to it. Pulled in next to it, go in, and it's right next to Area 51. So I'm looking at, like, alien T-shirts, and I see these Cat House shirts. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, I'm hungry. They have it was Ron Jeremy's restaurant. Well, Ron Jeremy was a porn star, but he was buddies with him. So I went in there, and I noticed these young girls wearing hardly any clothes are like staring at me. I'm like, what the fuck? So I go up. I'm still looking for a souvenir from this place, and there was a book. It was called The Art of the Pimp. And I'm looking through it, and he goes, do you want me to sign that? I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, I wrote the book. I'm like, no shit. Yeah, sure, sign it. We got the bullshit. Yeah, that was, he was dating Heidi Weiss. the Hollywood madam. She used to supply Charlie Sheen with hookers. But she wasn't there. Now, he was a cool dude. I sat and bullshit with him 10, 15 minutes. But he was running for Republican seat in Congress in Nevada on his birthday several years ago. They found him dead.
Oh.
I guess he partied too hard. Hoff. Dennis Hoff was his name. Dennis Hoff.
Or he was on the wrong side of the fence and they put him out.
Maybe.
You never know.
But he was actually a pretty cool dude. And I ended up that book. I read it. It was more about about business. So I gave it to my old boss down at CMT. He thought it was cool as shit because he'd watch Cat House. Now he has a book with Dennis Hoff's real fucking signature in it. So I got the good loads.
There you go.
But I took my wife to that place because she didn't believe me. I'm like, here it is. It was just north of Vegas.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, prostitution, man. I've told people for years, it happens in small town America. I used to work at a bar when I was 16, 17 years old. It was a bar and grill. I couldn't touch the alcohol, but I could cook and I could wash dishes. And my buddy's mom owned it. I would watch these women come there every weekend. Every weekend they'd leave with a different guy. Well, I mean, that's prostitution, man.
Pretty much.
I mean, if they're straining their billfold, their checking account, and they're getting more when a guy goes out and pays $100 for a piece of ass and says, see you, you don't have to put up with their shit. It was legal back in Wyatt Earp's day, man. This country is built on it. But they taxed it, and they should. It's a job. It's like a side hustle. If you do DoorDash, you're taxed on it, man.
Right.
So
when Ron Paul ran for president, they asked him what he was going to do about prostitution, and he laughed. Because they've been trying to get rid of that since the dawn of time.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just a Bible thumpers. I mean, that's all it was. I mean, dude, I hope my girls don't. I hope they're not like that. My daughters, but that's our job as fathers to raise our kids to where they aren't like that.
Right.
It's like I said, it happens anyway, and they might as well legalize it and make them get STD checked every so often. Like Nevada has the right idea, really.
Right.
And if you're not into that, you don't have to participate.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not into it, but I'm not against it either. I always tell people, if they weren't needed, they wouldn't be around.
Yeah. Yep. As long as guys have a cock and balls, they're going to be needed.
Pretty much.
Yeah. If the Democrats have their say in it, none of us would. But hey.
Right? We'd all be transgender.
Yeah. Mandatory castration. You voted for this, motherfuckers.
Right?
Or you didn't vote for it. It just got pushed on you. But because I don't really think Trump lost that election. I was out in Maricopa County and everything I was in Chandler, Arizona, outside of Phoenix. Everything was Trump out there, and they said that it was by a landslide that Biden won. I don't think so.
Well, they're all rigged. I don't care which one's running. They're all rigged by the Electoral College.
Yep. Hey, brother, I'm gonna have to go. My wife's calling me.
That's cool. It's good talking to you. I'll let you know.
All right. Take care.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Hello?
Hey, Joe?
Yeah.
Hey, this is Kano. Hang on, what's his name? He didn't tell me his name. Anyways, I talked to one of your drivers, and he gave me your number tonight, and he sent me a screenshot saying you said to call after 9.
Oh, Ryan. You were talking about Ryan.
Ryan, that's it.
There you go.
Yeah, Ryan. Okay. Yeah, he said you were a driver somewhere, but you were having they were fucking around CTI or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I only been here 2 months. I'm trying not to bounce around. I'm trying to make it work, but it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. So I got what do I have? I think it's a 2014 um, Freightliner Cascadia that will be open here next week because the guy who the guy who's driving it currently, his truck will be ready. He had a rear end go out, but it took a couple months to get it fixed. So that was my action. That was like an extra truck I had, the one he's currently driving.
Oh, okay.
So he'll be back available. And we're leased on at Smith. I don't know what Ryan told you about Smith. Pretty solid company. They do all reefer all over the country. They do a lot. They got a southern route that runs pretty good to them. Leaves St. Joe, Missouri, goes to Florida, rolls back up through the Carolinas, ends up in Brighton, Michigan, and then bounces back down through Iowa and back into Kansas.
Okay.
And then they got some day hop stuff down to Springfield and back. So I got a driver. Ryan lives down I think he lives outside of Bolivar. And then I got a guy that lives down in Carthage. So, and they got a lot of day hop stuff down to Springfield and back. So, I mean, get you close to home.
Right. Yeah, I live 15 minutes north of Ryan.
Okay. You guys roll the trucks. I take care of all the maintenance, upkeep, stuff like that, tags, taxes, insurance, everything. I pay 50% of the load after fuel.
Right. Okay.
So, like Ryan's running pretty good right now, and he's taking home, $2,700 a week. Everything's 1099. That's the only bad thing to it.
Well, it depends on how you look at it.
Yeah. I mean, and what I tell everybody is, look, I don't know how many receipts they print off at the gas station. I get one, you get one, but it don't make me no difference. Everything runs as your own business. So it works out pretty good.
Yeah, it'd red flag us, though, if we tried to claim the fuel.
Yeah, well, there's I guess it depends on how you look at it, because Smith claims the fuel and I claim the fuel both. So, because Smith claims the fuel before it gets to me, but I tell him, then I have to turn in that fuel and be like, no, because it's a long story anyhow, how the taxes on my end work, but that ain't no biggie. Anyway, I pay every Friday. Smith turns in their paperwork on Tuesday. You get your check on Friday for the week before up to that Tuesday. I split 50-50. After fuel, you get 100% of detention. Detention runs at $65 an hour normally over a 2-hour period. You get 100% of all layover pay if we're out for a layover, and you get 100% of all holiday because they pay extra 5% out over holidays.
Oh, so if we're driving during a holiday, we get an extra 5%.
On that load.
That's cool. Right
on. What else? I don't really know what else to tell you right off the top of that hand there. How long have you been driving?
Oh, I've been driving since over the road tractor trailer since 1998.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got pulled in there. Oh, that's right. He did say that. Yeah. Okay.
I've been technically driving since 95, but tractor trailer over the road 98.
Yeah, that's all. The Kevin at Smith is the safety man. Unfortunately, he is your typical safety man. Golly.
Oh, I'm a safety guy, so he'll like
well,
me.
no, I mean, he's, but like, I feel sometimes he's a little over the top.
Right.
Even though you've got 25 years experience, he's going to make you come in and watch these safety videos and all this other stuff because, he has to have it on his record, if you will.
Right, he's got to dot all the I's and cross all the T's.
Oh yeah, and it's like, so that will be the next step. If that suffices you, and if you're okay with some of the stuff I've said, and as we go further on here, if you have more questions, no problem. I mean, I answer everything to the best of my ability. Let you come in and see the truck.
Yeah,
that's about all I've got right now.
Yeah, I used to be a hazmat tanker driver, so I'm used to watching safety videos pretty much every week and at every plant. So safety videos, I've actually grown to like them.
Oh gosh.
But anyways, so the nearest drug testing facility is probably in Springfield.
So then from this point forward, then so I don't do any of that. I don't do nothing.
Okay.
Except for make sure that the truck's maintained, up, running, and ready to go. Okay. And then if there is a problem, I fix it, and I take care of it from there. So from here, you'll have to contact Smith.
Okay.
And Kevin Myers is the safety guy there. That's who. He'll be in charge of everything from here out, as far as getting your application in with him, going through your record with him, drug tests, all that other kind of stuff. It all goes through Smith Transportation. So they actually hire you, but you're an owner-operator working for, with me. So that's kind of how it works.
Right. Hang on a second. All right, what's their number?
1 second here. I used to have. Let me look back on my thing and see if I have their application process. I know it's driveforsmith.com. Driveforsmith.com, and that's like where the application process is.
All right, hang on a second.
I believe that's what it is.
In my phone. Drive for. Oh, might help if I can spell. Drive for. This phone always typos me, anyways. Smith. I hate this phone sometimes. .com. All right, that'll work.
Okay, and then while I have you on the phone, if you want to take down a couple numbers.
Okay, is it for Smith or someone else?
This for Kevin, his direct number to the safety guy.
All right, what's that number?
So Kevin at Smith Trucking is 913 461 5651.
5651. And his
Okay,
name is...
and I'll give you Scott, the dispatcher.
All right, hang on a second. I'm going to... Safety. Okay. Okay.
Scott, the dispatcher, is 913.
Okay.
226 7929.
And that is Scott.
And so you can call and talk to both of those guys. I don't think either one of them's on this weekend, so that would be the only.
Oh, it's no problem. I got a load.
Josie!
I got a load going out tomorrow, and I'll be back home probably Tuesday. But I can call them Monday.
Yeah, give them a buzz, and they'll see where they're at from there, and they'll direct you, from here out. Like I said, and call Scott, the dispatcher, talk with him, because he's a pretty big part of it. Make sure you get along with him while you're working.
Oh yeah. I usually get along better with safety than I do dispatch. But anyways, I know too though. A lot of companies they'll use safety and dispatch. And they'll play safety and dispatch against the driver, and then the driver's like going crazy.
Yeah.
So. Well,
and Scott's a pretty good guy, but Scott's also there for. I believe that for some reason I want to say the dispatcher's on some kind of a incentive bonus, obviously, for loads and so forth like that. It just makes sense. The way he gets, the way he puts stuff out.
Them to pump us out more miles.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm familiar with that. I mean, a lot of companies do that anymore. If they didn't, it's kind of hush hush, but because they don't want us to know that. They don't want us to know that.
Right. Correct.
So.
But I mean, overall, I've had trucks leased on there for 6 years now. I mean, we do pretty good. And I guess the bonus about that is after a year, so we actually make like 1% more than, or I'm sorry, 3% more than, like, if you were to go sign on yourself, Smith holds 30% out, whereas now they only hold 27% out. So.
Gotcha. So, Ryan, I think you said his name was. He mostly gave me the rundown. So basically, there's approximately like 10 different routes, and I'll basically be out for like 7 to 10 days, and then I can have like 3 days off, or 2 to 3 days off.
Yeah, and that's something you talk with Scott about. And so what I tell everybody that drives is like, listen, man, I appreciate you as a driver, and I appreciate family and family time, because it's a tough job being a driver. You run that truck as you see fit. You get home as you see fit.
Right.
Don't ever think for 1 second that you either turning the wheels or not turning the wheels is going to affect me and my bottom line. I have a full-time company. I run a flat work concrete crew. I got into the trucking business kind of on accident, and I have 8 trucks out. It's a good little extra living for me. It abides a lot of extra stuff, if you will. Yeah, if you will, side hustle for sure. So you run that thing to support you and your living, and we'll go from there. Right. You need to take 4 or 5 days off at a time. Take them, do what you're going to do. Clear it with Smith to make sure you stay in their good graces, because you're always in my good graces, no matter if the truck's wheels are rolling or not.
Right. So basically, you want us to make money, make you money. Just you don't want us to be slave robots like some of these people do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I got a guy, Craig Weidman, and he's a single guy. And he'll go out and he'll roll that truck for 4 weeks at a time, but then he'll go take a week, 10 days off.
Right. That's how I used to run. I'd basically stay out for 3 weeks. I'd take either the first week or the last week of the month off, and that's
right.
it.
Right.
Yeah. And now I kind of want to be home on not really weekends necessarily. My girlfriend wants me home on the weekends. But, you can't get much done in the country, small town on the weekends. But, a couple days a week is really what I need. So, a week, 7 to 10 days out, 2 to 3 days off is great for me. I'm basically 2 days per week. So 10 days, 3 days, that's basically 2 days per week.
Yeah, and you'll figure that out as you're out on the road. Like, so the cutoff day is Tuesday. So what I got another driver, and what he tries to do is make sure he has a delivery somewhere, up in Kansas City or whatever, like early on a Monday morning, drops that load early Monday morning. Then just, and I have no problem. They get you back to St. Joe or here. I mean, you can deadhead home. You can take the truck home with you. Whatever, just know that you and I are splitting the cost of that gas or that fuel in that truck. So
right.
I'm good with that. But so he'll try to catch a load that comes back through Kansas City or Springfield or something like on a Monday. Drop that early Monday morning, boom, you're home by noon Monday. Well, you miss Monday and Tuesday. Well, that's no big deal, because that's that pay period. Then you start the next week off, you go ahead and miss Wednesday and Thursday. Well, you get 4 days off in a row, but it's 2 days off of one pay period, 2 days off the other pay period.
Right. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I don't worry about that too much. I just try not to have too much money come in on the same week so that I don't have to pay extra taxes.
Yeah.
But 1099, we don't have to worry about that.
1099, you ain't worrying about that till the end anyhow.
Exactly. So, right on. And then I got my side hustle. It gives me extra tax deduction, so I'm cool. I can do it either way.
There you go.
I usually try to file. Well, they changed it now. You can't file single and 9 or single and 8. You got to claim a number. So I'm still trying to figure out how to work that. But with 1099, I don't got to worry about it. I just put my money in my stocks, and then at the end of the year, pull out what I need to pay my taxes.
Gotcha.
All right, cool. So, and then the logbook is keep trucking.
Yep. So logbook, and I believe they have cameras on them now too.
Oh, right. Yeah, he was saying that. As long as they don't, well, he's kind of a freedom fighter like me, so he was okay with the camera because he said that he can see what they can see, and they're not like watching us and spying on us and stuff. So as long as they ain't doing that garbage, then I'm cool.
Yeah, no, and the camera goes forward so that you can see, somebody cuts you off and you got a brake check real fast,
right.
And they know why.
Right. Yeah. That's cool. And I like the forward-facing cameras. Even the sideward-facing cameras are not too bad either because you get to see what's going on. I feel uncomfortable with people watching me while I'm driving or changing or, I'm in a sleeper and stuff like that. It just makes me feel weird,
Yeah, no, absolutely. I wouldn't want that either.
Right. But no, he seems to be a lot like me when it comes to stuff like that. So, I think I'm okay with that. I can't really think of anything else. Mostly money, home time, treat the drivers decent, and people take care of their equipment. Those are the 4 things I really care about.
Yeah, and you can you can ask Ryan about that. If you got a problem with your truck, immediately I want to get it fixed. I don't want to, and I don't put cheap shit on my truck either. I got a tire guy up here in Kansas City. We need new tires. We get new tires. I don't do recaps. I don't do none of that other crap. I run solid tires. I'm not messing with that. If it needs fixed, we get it fixed right away.
Cool.
And also whenever we're going with parts, and not every time do I use 100% the best part available, but that comes down to the mechanic. If the mechanic tells me, look, this part here, it's the cheaper version of it, but it's the better version of it. I'm like, well, that's what I want. I want the better stuff. I don't care, if it's the most expensive, then it is what it is. But then sometimes the reman parts are better than the actual manufacturer parts.
Right. I get that. Yeah, it's basically you want the best quality, whether it's cheaper or more expensive. You want the best quality.
Correct.
Right. I get that. I'm the same way. I take pretty good care of the equipment. I don't like the equipment to be grody. So, I'm not OCD clean like I used to be, but I'm not grody either. I'm kind of like, I'm more like a clutter bug than I am I'm a germaphobe, so I don't like germs.
Yeah, well, I can tell you that Craig is 100% the cleanest driver I have, and he's been in this truck for, I want to say 4 or 5 months. We've been waiting on this rear end part to come in and this other thing. So that's the truck you'll be getting into. Obviously we'll get it detailed and cleaned out, but it'll be the easiest detailed job the guy ever did for me once Craig comes out of it.
That's cool. Yeah, and I usually clean the truck before I get out of it too, so that people don't have to work as hard to clean up after me. And I'm pretty clean anyways.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. Right on. Yeah, let me think about it, and Because I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to make it work over here, but I don't know. I hate being lied to and manipulated. So.
Nope, I hear you, and that's why I say call those two fellows up on Monday. And hopefully they'll have some time for you to talk to them. And the owner of the company's name is Greg. He's Greg Smith. He may even be around as far as opportunity to talk with him if you call like Smith Trucking and Transportation in Edwardsville, Kansas. But those two numbers are the two main guys at Smith that you will be dealing with.
Okay. Right on. I know where that is too, because I used to live up there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, down there off of 88 and K32.
Yeah. I lived all over Kansas City though. You ever heard of Johansson Trucking?
I think so.
That was my grandpa. Well, my family. I got one last cousin, like a that still runs under the Johansson Trucking name out of Hiawatha, Kansas. But yeah, my grandpa had a decent sized dump truck company there in Kansas City. So
yep.
Yeah. Anyways, all right, cool. Yeah, I'll holler at him Monday, and if I have any more questions, I'll holler at you or Ryan.
Yep, feel free to call me anytime or shoot me a text message, whatever you got, man.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, bye.